They humiliate themselves for headlines, torch democracy for clout, but facts still win. Let's dive in. Trump just appointed Fox News firebrand Judge Jeanine Pirro to run justice in Washington, D.C. If that doesn't sound like a dystopian joke, let me show you why it's a full-blown constitutional crisis.
Children, but they're not children anymore. And I've heard that, Christine, you're doing unbelievably well and very successful at a great law firm. So it's great to have you with us. Thank you very much. Over 5 decades, Jeanine Pirro, known by millions as Judge Jeanine, has devoted her life to the pursuit of justice, the defense of freedom, and the fair, equal, and impartial rule of law. And that's what she's about. She was a great DA. I remember her very well. She was as good as anybody I've seen. She began a career in 1975 as an assistant district attorney in Westchester County, New York, where she prosecuted violent crimes. And that was a serious prosecution. And she went after real criminals, not fake criminals like we seem to do today nowadays, people that shouldn't be prosecuted, including rape, murder, and was a tireless warrior on behalf of the most vulnerable people in our society. In that role, Jeanine helped create one of our country's first domestic violence bureaus. I think it was the first, Jeanine. And as its chief, she revolutionized victim protection and bold, innovative policies like very few people even thought of. In 1990, Jeanine became the first female judge in Westchester County history. And following the year, and by the way, very distinguished, had an unbelievable, distinguished career. And in the following years, she presided over numerous complex criminal cases. The reason they were complex is that other judges were not able to understand them. They were called the complex cases. My sister had them too. They always used to give her the complex cases because other people didn't understand them, including high-stakes felony narcotics trials. Her outstanding judicial record earned her the honor of being named the #1 judge in 1990 by the Independent Fund for Modern Courts. That's nationwide. Outstanding judge. The following year, Judge Jeanine was elected Westchester County District Attorney, became the top prosecutor for a jurisdiction that included some of the largest suburbs in New York City, including Yonkers and White Plains. It's a big deal. As district attorney, Jeanine tackled high-profile violent crime cases and established one of the nation's most successful cybercrime units to combat online child abuse. She was way ahead of a lot of people. They still aren't there, if you get right down to it, from what I hear. They're still not there in many cases back there where we come from. In addition to her stellar legal career, Jeanine also excelled in news media as you know, and she's become one of the most beloved political figures through her time on television, because she's been very, very successful at a thing called television. She got out of what she was doing, and frankly, she does them both great, but she's really, to me, she'll always be known as a great lawyer and a great prosecutor, which is what she's doing now. So Jeanine Pirro, I have no doubt, will be an exceptional U.S. attorney for the District of Columbia, one of the truly most important positions in our country, of any position, where she will restore public safety in our nation's capital, break up vicious street gangs and criminal networks, and ensure equal justice under the law. You'll see very, very big improvements in the D.C. area, that I can promise you. So I want to congratulate Jeanine. I want to congratulate you and Christine and your whole family on this undertaking. And as you know, Pam Bondi is doing an unbelievable job as our real leader in the fight against crime. And Pam heard about this, and Pam said, I'll have to find time for Jeanine. She doesn't have time to do this, but for Jeanine she did, and she's going to be doing the swearing in. So Pam, thank you very much for the great job you're doing and for swearing in our friend, Justice Jeanine. Good. Thank you. Come on in.
Oh, you're there.
There we go. I do solemnly swear
I, Jeanine Pirro, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I take this obligation freely
and that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
of
of the office upon which I am about to enter.
Upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Madam Attorney General, both my friends for many years. Long ago, I went to law school to study about justice and to bring justice to victims of violent crimes, women, children, and the elderly. I fought to give them a voice in a system that was both blind and deaf to their concerns. I dedicated my heart and soul to making sure that there was a system that responded to them. My profile and my prosecutorial successes garnered public attention, and my life took unexpected turns. Through all of this, President Trump, you have remained as steadfast as one of my earliest supporters and champions. You never wavered. You were always steadfast, trustworthy, and confident. Today, Mr. President, you bring me back to my roots. And it is a larger arena, but no less an arena where we need justice, where we need to send a message that justice will be honored in the District of Columbia. And just last week, here in our nation's capital, two people on the brink of beginning their life had hopes and dreams that were never realized because a cold-blooded murderer made a decision to shoot them down on the streets on a cold, rainy night in our nation's capital. This will not go without just accounting. My voice should be heard loud and clear. No more tolerance of hatred, no more mercy for criminals. Violence will be addressed directly with the appropriate punishment. And this city will again become a shining city on a hill in an America that President Trump has promised to make great again and will make safe again. Mr. President, America thanks you, and I thank you.
Any questions?
Oh boy. You just want to talk to him. I get it.
She's going to be fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank
There's
you.
no question, because there's no doubt. We have no doubt.
Let's not sugarcoat it. Donald Trump just turned the U.S. Attorney's Office for D.C. into a MAGA TV set. In what can only be described as a shameless power grab wrapped in reality show theatrics, Trump has appointed Judge Jeanine Pirro. Yes, the same bombastic Fox News host who spent years frothing at the mouth on national television, pushing conspiracy theories, defending insurrectionists, and demonizing immigrants, as the chief federal prosecutor in the nation's capital. This isn't law and order. This is lawlessness, politicized. Let's rewind. Trump takes the podium, beaming like he just handed out an Emmy, not sworn in a top legal official. He starts with a cloying trip down memory lane, praising Pirro's TV ratings and courtroom theatrics. He calls her a warrior, which in Trumpian code means someone who knows how to throw rhetorical bombs and bend the law to suit the cult. He even says this gem, she was as good as anybody I've seen. She went after real criminals, not fake criminals like we seem to do today. Translation, she went after the people I want targeted, not me or my cronies. This is classic authoritarian playbook stuff. Undermine legitimate investigations. Cast prosecutors you don't like as fake. Appoint loyalists with microphones, not merit, to weaponize the justice system. And just listen to the blatant favoritism. Trump talks about Piro's time on Fox News like it's a legal credential, calls her beloved, very successful at the thing called television. You can practically hear Steve Bannon giggling in the background. This isn't a nomination, it's a reward, a payoff for years of sycophantic loyalty and unhinged sound bites defending Trump, no matter the scandal. And of course, Pam Bondi is there too, the grifter-in-chief's other favorite legal lapdog. She's trotted out to perform the swearing in like it's a Mar-a-Lago brunch. This isn't justice, it's casting. Now let's talk about what this means for D.C., and by extension, the rule of law. Piro will now control prosecutions in the very district where the January 6th insurrection took place. Dozens of Trump allies still face potential legal exposure. Federal investigations into political corruption, election interference, and dark money are headquartered. And we're supposed to believe she'll be impartial? Let's not forget, this is the same Jeanine Pirro who called the Mueller probe a witch hunt, who dismissed the January 6th hearings as propaganda, and who publicly floated pardons for Trump allies before charges were even filed. Her legal commentary makes Alex Jones look reasonable. She once told Fox viewers, "The deep state is alive and well, and it's coming for you." That's who Trump wants overseeing federal prosecutions in the epicenter of U.S. democracy. Now, to make matters worse, she weaponizes her own swearing-in speech, turning it into a fascistic diatribe against tolerance and mercy. She says, "No more mercy for criminals, no more tolerance for hatred." Let's be clear, that's code for mass incarceration, for criminalizing protest, dissent, and anyone Trump doesn't like. She continues, "This city will become a shining city on the hill again in an America that President Trump has promised to make great again and will make safe again." Read between the lines. She's not a U.S. attorney. She's a campaign surrogate in a robe. She's using the Justice Department as a political cudgel to enforce Trump's warped version of safety, one that criminalizes marginalized communities, lets white-collar crooks walk, and turns D.C. into a police state playground. Let's talk about that shining city on a hill line. Historically, that phrase has meant inclusion, equality, justice. But in this context, it's a dog whistle for a crackdown. Trump doesn't want a shining city. He wants a fortress. And he's just handed the keys to one of his most unhinged foot soldiers, and it gets worse. Pirro thanks Trump for being her steadfast supporter. She calls him trustworthy, and she praises him for never wavering. This isn't just gross. It's deeply unethical. A prosecutor praising the man who appointed her, a man who is actively facing criminal investigations, is a complete erosion of prosecutorial independence. This is why separation of powers exists. This is why impartiality matters. But Trump's DOJ is a mirror maze of sycophants, echo chambers, and loyalty oaths. Ask yourself, what happens when future evidence involving Trump crosses Pirro's desk? Will she recuse? Of course not. She's made it clear. She's not here to enforce justice. She's here to enforce MAGA. Let's not pretend this was some routine appointment. What we just witnessed was the federal justice system further swallowed by the Trump cult. By appointing Judge Jeanine Pirro, a Fox News flamethrower, conspiracy amplifier, and longtime MAGA mouthpiece, to one of the most important prosecutorial posts in the country, Trump has once again spit in the face of democracy, ethics, and the law. This isn't about crime. This is about control. It's about sending a message to anyone investigating Trump. You're next. It's about signaling to the base that MAGA doesn't need fair trials. It just needs faithful warriors. It's about placing loyalists in every corner of government until truth, justice, and accountability are snuffed out completely. And it's working, unless we stop it. The appointment of Pirro marks another dark turn in Trump's campaign to weaponize federal institutions. But here's the thing. The louder they cheer, the more desperate they become. And that means now is the time to push back harder than ever. Because justice isn't a show. It's not a slogan. It's not a loyalty test. It's the foundation of our democracy, and we will not let them burn it to the ground. If you believe the Justice Department shouldn't be a Fox News studio, subscribe, share, and flood the comments now. Let's call out this sham. Let's expose the rot. Let's protect what's left of our democracy before Trump turns every courtroom into a campaign rally. The fight starts here.